Hello there, Pamela Nance here, wellness coach with Bloom from Within Wellness. Here today with my 5th video in my Happy New You 2022 Fresh Start series. Today I'm going to talk to you about goals and setting goals and why set goals. So the first thing, very rudimentary, the facts. We're born and then we die. And then in between, a bunch of shit happens. So why not be the creator, the magician in your life and create some things that you find meaningful and cool and fun and enriching and altruistic, and serving and purposeful. It just makes the time here on the planet so much more enjoyable. And I really feel like that's a big part of why we're here, is to enjoy being here. If you ever read Viktor Frankl's book, Man's Search for Meaning, he tells you that in his 3 years, I believe it was, in concentration camps in Nazi Germany, what he observed was that the people who survived that awful, horrible situation had purpose and meaning in their lives. So, you know, it's a great honor to yourself to discover what that purpose and meaning is. And it could be something so simple like spreading joy and love. It doesn't have to be a super complex, I want to be a brain surgeon kind of purpose. It could be. So, goals are like a beacon, like a lighthouse, like a flame, like a target for you to row your boat towards, giving you guidance of a direction in which to go. Now, that doesn't mean that you might not make a turn and decide to do something different because you've gone down the path and you found something else that really was deeply meaningful to you. Because sometimes when we're first starting out on making goals, we might not have exactly an idea of what it is that we do really want to do. For example, when I started college back in the 80s, I thought I wanted to study forestry. I took 1 day of one forestry class and realized, not for me. So I changed course there, which can happen, but still you need something from which to go forth, I believe. So where to start with goal setting? If you have no idea, like where should I even look? I wanna offer you this coaching tool. It's called a Wheel of Life assessment sheet. And I'll just read to you the different categories on it. Spirituality, joy, social life, relationships, home environment, health, physical activity, home cooking, education, career, finances, and creativity. So in this Wheel of Life assessment sheet, and you can get this, just Google it on the internet, what you do is you score closer to the center if you're not feeling fulfilled in a certain area, and then you move more toward the outside in the categories that you do feel fulfilled. The idea then being that you look at those areas where you're not experiencing much fulfillment and you just make a decision, just, you know, put your hand on your belly and just kind of decide like what seems right now an important thing for me to focus on, like which area of my life. Is it my career? Is it my finances? Is it my health? So you would then decide, okay, I'm gonna look at my health and I wanna take some actions to improve my health. So that's where the goals then come in. Once you've decided like, okay, which area do I want to work on? And I really do suggest that you don't try to do too much. The more you have to change, like if you've got lots of areas, the slower you should go, really. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but if you overwhelm yourself and you try to do too many things, you're just gonna say, fuck it. You will, and you won't do any of it. So just pick one area for right now. And then you want to pick maybe 2 or 3 SMART goals. So what are SMART goals? They are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. Took me a minute there. So time-based, you want to have a time for a goal. You don't want to say, I want to get my finances in order. That says nothing. That really says nothing. So you want to say, at the end of this 3 months, I want to have a budget where I know how much I'm spending every month, how much it takes me to live. I want to have all of my, that would be one goal. I want to have a budget. At the end of 3 months, I want to have a budget so I know exactly how much I spend every month. I want to have all of my bills paid online. That's another goal. And I want to open a savings account where I put $100 a month. So that would be 3 examples of SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. So that is how you go about setting your goals. First, decide which area of your life you would like to work on, and then pick a couple of goals and write those down. It's really important to write your goals down and then to look at them on a daily basis, I would suggest, because it's just like if you go on a trip, you don't just look at the map once and then be like, okay, I know where I'm going. You need to have these at the forefront. You might even want to put sticky notes around so that you can remind yourself. I call that anchoring in your goals. You might want to have a sticky note to remind you so that every day it's brought up in your consciousness. You can't just tuck these into a drawer and then hope that they're going to happen. And lastly, I will say about goal setting and why I have my clients do that is because in working with people, here's one of the things, like I work with a lot of people who have used food to buffer from looking at things in their life that they didn't want to look at. And so if you aren't living up to what you think your potential is, and if you aren't following some dreams that you had, and you aren't setting goals, and you aren't really finding meaning or purpose in your life, chances are you might be using a substance like food to sort of buffer away from looking at those places that you are underserving yourself, that you aren't prioritizing yourself as far as your enrichment and your growth and getting things in life and achieving things in life and doing things in life that are going to bring you joy and satisfaction and purpose and meaning. So if you are overeating, over drinking, smoking, using drugs excessively, processes like shopping, gambling, even pornography to excess, this is something to look at. Just pause and ask yourself, are there some things that I would like to be doing in my life right now that I'm not doing? And give yourself a hug and know that you can change. The biggest obstacle to change is in your mind. It's your thoughts. So know that you have the power, and if you need help, I'm here. I'd love to help you. So you can always find me on my website, bloomfromwithinwellness.com. I would love to talk to you. Meanwhile, set some goals, all right? And my last video will be on how to achieve those goals, taking small, manageable steps. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.